So this program is being live streamed. We are going live. So we will not be sending you recording of this program. If you go to the ISKCON for Deaf community channel, if you have subscribed there, you can just see the program will be on YouTube. It will be a live session recorded. So anytime you can access this program. So we'll not be sending recordings in future. You can access all programs on the ISKCON channel. So I hope it is okay.
Yes, Mataji, yes.
Yeah. So I'll start sharing the screen and let's start. Acharya Prabhu, kindly make me the co-host. I want to share the screen.
Done.
Thank you. So first of all, we are going to trying to understand the meaning of Ekadashi, what exactly Ekadashi is. So Ekadashi is actually a Sanskrit word, and Ekadashi means number 11. It means the 11th day of each half of the month. So if we understand that the month can be divided into two parts, 15 and 15. The month is of 30 days, except of course for February. The month is for 30 days. And so if you divide the month into two parts, 15 days and 50 days, the 11th day of each half. So I hope it is easy to understand that 15 days, if we have 15 days in the first half of the month, the 11th day is Ekadashi. It is called Ekadashi. Now there are two Ekadashis in each month. So 15 days means 11th day of first half and 11th day of the second half. So how we understand is the first half is when the moon is growing, like after the sun is, Amavasya is there, and when the moon starts growing, this is known as bright fortnight. So that is one Ekadashi. So once the Purnima happens, then the moon starts decreasing. It starts shrinking. This is known as dark fortnight. So in both the half of the month, we get two Ekadashis. So is that clear?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, fine. We'll move. So here now we are going to discuss the story of Ekadashi, why we do observe Ekadashi, and what is the story behind Ekadashi. So let's try to understand all this. So once there was one
minute,
Rishi,
Mataji, 1 minute. I think there is Prabhu Purushottam.
And
he's raised his hand, Prabhu Mataji.
One second, Prabhu.
Purushottam Prabhu, he was raising his hand, Mataji. Let's see what he has to say.
Okay.
Can we take question answer in last? Whatever he has to say.
But
Like
maybe Prabhu
interrupting the
has
session.
some issues in seeing or anything. Maybe he has some issue.
Mataji, he's holding his hand like doing like this. I need to see what he's.
Because it's a long
one name,
section and
Mataji is saying
we might not be able
Anutama.
to cover it.
Mataji, he's saying Anutama.
Yes.
Mataji, yeah. What? Lecture. Lecture. What? Mataji, can we spotlight you? Maybe he wants to see you. I don't know what is it. Bank. Paisa, donation. He wants to give a donation, Mataji is saying. Mataji, can you hear? Hello, Mataji, can you hear me? Acharya Prabhu, can you hear
Prabhu,
me?
I can hear. Yeah, we can discuss this later after this session.
I cannot hear Anutama Mataji actually. Okay, I'll tell Purushottam Prabhu.
Yeah.
Okay, we can go ahead, I guess. I told him.
Yeah, maybe Mataji lost her connection. Trying to reach her again.
Hare Krishna. Yes, sorry, Prabhu. What was the problem?
Mataji, he wants to give donations, so I said he can talk on this later.
Yeah, sure. Okay, fine. Thank you. So we'll continue. So we were, I'm trying to understand the story behind Ekadashi. And so once there was one Rishi, Gemini Rishi, and he was the disciple of Vyasadeva. So Vyasadeva, if you know, he has written Srimad Bhagavatam, and so he asked this, this disciple of Vyasadeva, Gemini Rishi, he asked the meaning of Ekadashi. So he said it's important to follow, Ekadashi. So Vyasadeva, he says, you've asked a very nice question. And he says, what happens is that once Lord Vishnu, after creation, he created the entire universe and he wanted to create somebody who could represent. So Lord created a Papa Purusha. And this Papa Purusha, his eyes, ears, head, hand, mouth, legs, face, everything represented a certain sin. In fact, his whole body was nothing but a sin. So now the question is that why did God create such a horrible personality? So Lord Vishnu wanted to create such a person, to punish those who perform different sins. So if you look at the Papa Purusha, if you look at, the personification of sin, if you look at this Papa Purusha, you'll realize how horrible it is. So Lord wanted people to get aware that it is so horrible to commit a sin. Now, as soon as Lord Vishnu created this Papa Purusha got active because he's a servant of the Lord and he wanted to perform his duty. and his duty was to punish the sinful people after their death. So once Lord Vishnu happened to visit Yamraj, now he is created and Papa Purusha is doing his duty. So once what happens that Lord Vishnu visits Yamraj, there he could hear helpless loud cries of people. People were shouting and screaming. So Lord, being very compassionate, his heart melted and he asked Yamraj, who are these people crying and why are they crying? So Yamraj said, well, Lord, you created Papa Purusha and he is doing his duty. He is punishing those who are sinning. So Lord Vishnu said, but how can we free these sinners? Well, Yamraj said, my Lord, I don't know. You are my Lord. You have to think of something.
Mataji,
And
we
as
couldn't
soon
see the
as,
screen.
Lord thought of such and took a feminine
Mataji, we
form.
couldn't see the screen.
Sorry? I haven't stopped. Okay. I haven't stopped. 1 second.
No,
Sorry.
no. We couldn't see the screen.
You couldn't see the screen. Okay.
Yeah, the PPT we couldn't see.
Now, as soon as compassion or love came in Lord Vishnu's heart for these sinners, this compassion took a feminine form. Okay, and this feminine form came out, and this feminine form of the Lord was Ekadashi or Ekdasi, one servant. So she said, on this day, anyone who performs spiritual activity and serves my Lord Vishnu, I promise to free them from all their sinful reactions. So this is what, the moment Ekadashi came out, this is what she promises.
बड़ा गुस्सा तेरे को आ रहा है ताकि कमाने तो पता चले कैसे गुस्सा आ जाता है
Now, all these sinful reactions, all these sinful people who were suffering in, because of their reactions, they all became free because they had started chanting the name of the Lord. They had heard Ekadashi telling that whosoever takes your name on this day, Lord, I will free them from all their sinful reactions. So all these people started getting liberated from the suffering. I'm Ekdasi or Ekadashi. The compassion in your heart for the suffering soul gave me the birth. Therefore, anyone who takes your name, anyone who chants your name on Ekadashi will get liberated. Now everybody had started taking name of the Lord, so this Papurusha became jobless. He was without a job because everybody was taking the name of the Lord, and obviously, if everybody is taking the name of the Lord, Ekadashi is there. She will liberate all those people. Now, whom is Papurusha going to punish? So this person becomes jobless, and so he goes to the Lord, and he says, "I cannot punish anybody. What should I do?" So Lord said, "Why don't you go and hide somewhere?" So this Papurusha said, "Where should I go?" The Lord said, "Ekadashi, is there. You are not required." He said, "Okay, I understand. I am not required, but everywhere is your world. You are present everywhere, oh my Lord, and wherever you are there, Ekadashi, she is also there."
No, sorry, Mataji, I missed a little bit.
Yeah.
Vishnu said
So-
that you go and hide.
Yes, the Lord said, "You go and hide somewhere. Now you're not required." So Papurusha said, "Where should I go?" So the Lord said, "The day Ekadashi is not active, you stay. But the day Ekadashi comes, you hide in the grains."
I'm sorry, Mataji. Pap Purusha asked that where should I go? No, because everywhere in the
Where
world,
should I hide?
where should I hide?
So-
And then Vishnu, the Lord, then it
The Lord
says,
said,
right?
see, Ekadashi comes only on the 11th day, right? So that day, if Ekadashi is active, you hide. The day Ekadashi is there, hide somewhere, go and hide yourself in the grains, in wheat or rice. You hide yourself in that grain. So we do not consume grains on Ekadashi because we believe that the Papa Purusha is residing in those grains. And if we eat grains on that day, the entire papam, the entire pap comes on us. Because the Lord instructed Papa Purusha to go and hide in the grains. And if you are eating grains on Ekadashi, all those sins come upon us. So this is the story of Ekadashi, that why we do not consume grains on this day. And we understand that because of Ekadashi, we have the chance to get liberated. If we observe Ekadashi, we keep fasting on Ekadashi, then we have all the chances to get liberated. So we must, all of us must observe Ekadashi, whether we keep any other fast or not, but we all must observe Ekadashi. Right? So now let us understand there is a science behind. We cannot just say that it's just a religious thing, but there is a big science behind Ekadashi. So let's try to understand that. So this is little tricky to understand. Let's see that we have, full moon is there, and we have Amavasya is there. So it is believed that on the 10th and 11th day, the magnetic pull of the moon is maximum. That is why we see, if we go near an ocean, people who are living an ocean, they will see that there are big, huge tides in the ocean, on the 10th and the 11th day, as it is approaching Purnamasi, or it is full moon, or it is approaching Amavasya, the tides are very high, because the magnetic pull of the moon is maximum during those days. Now, if any of you have studied during your school days, our bodies are at least 70% made of water. Okay, and these grains that we eat, like we eat rice, or we eat dal, or we eat wheat, they have a very unique quality. What is the quality? They tend to retain water in them. They do not release water. They just, they retain water within themselves. They do not release it in the body. Now imagine if on the 11th day, when we are supposed to be fasting, if we are eating grains, we have so much of water because of the grains in our body. Then and there is magnetic pull of the moon, then we tend to develop lot of body problems. We tend to develop lot of sickness. So lot of things, lot of problems in our body is also because we are eating on days when we are not supposed to eat. So this is the scientific side of why we should not eat grains on the 11th day, on Ekadashi. Of course, apart from pleasing the Supreme Lord, this is the scientific reason. There are some people who do not believe what Krishna says. So it is for those people that there is definitely a science behind. There are so many religion also who says every 15 days you must fast. So Ekadashi comes every 15 days. So does that make sense? That every 15 days we have to observe Ekadashi. We do not eat grains every 15th day. So on 11th day, when the moon is maximum, we do not eat grains, because scientifically also it is proven that it creates a lot of turmoil, lot of disturbance in our stomach, and which causes a lot of ailments, which causes a lot of problems in our body. So now let us come to the part which is eagerly awaited by most of the people, because many of us do not know what to eat and what not to eat during Ekadashi. So here we are going to be discussing how many types of fasting are there. First of all, let us understand that even Ekadashi can be observed in many ways. Now it all depends on how your body is, how much pressure your body can take, depending on your age, depending on whether you have any medical issues. If you have any of those problems, so you can, observe Ekadashi according to that. So there are various levels of Ekadashi. So let us see what all those levels are. Now we must understand that even Ayurveda it also recommends that we should fast once in 15 days. So scientifically also proven, and medically also, doctors say that every 15 days we must observe fasting. So it is very important for all of us to observe Ekadashi fasting from all perspectives. So first level is Nirjal. Nirjal means no water. So first level is that we do not consume even water on Ekadashi. So that is the topmost kind of fast, depending on whether you can observe it or you cannot, depending on your working, your age, you're aged or you're very small. So depending on what your age is, you should take up this fasting. Next level is fasting just by consuming water. So there are devotees, there are people who cannot remain without water. So what will they do? They will just take water the entire day. They will not eat anything. They will just keep drinking water. Whenever they are hungry, they'll drink water. Whenever they are hungry, they'll drink water. So that is the next level of fasting. After that, the next level is juices, liquids. So water and juices, coconut water, etc. That is the next level. So those who cannot survive just on water can observe just juices fast. They can just consume juices. Coconut water is another source. Next level is fruits. So somebody will say that, okay, with the liquid will just get flushed out. I go to the toilet and all the liquid will come out. So, okay, you go to the next level, you can just consume fruits. All the fruits you can consume. There is no restriction on fruits, any fruit. So there are people who don't want to, who are having doubts which fruit to consume and which not. So there is absolutely no restriction when it comes to fruits. Any fruit you can eat. Apple, papaya, banana, grapes, watermelon, any fruit you can eat. Now, next comes the level where it is difficult to observe Ekadashi with fruits also. So then there is a lot of material available in the market, which is like food, which is like which is like solids, but which is not a grain. Like we have a long list of those items. Like we have sabudana and some kind of rice and quinoa. So there is a long list which I'm going to share now very soon. So there is a long list of those items. So if you cannot observe Ekadashi without water, with juices, with fruits, then you can take this category, which is not grains, but it will keep you full. And it's not that you have to eat just once in a day. You can eat all the 3 times also. Only thing is just don't eat grains. Okay, so let's move on. So last time we have been floating this video, a very small video about downloading Vaishnav calendar. I don't know how many of you have downloaded, but it is still there in the group. And before every Ekadashi, we keep posting it again and again so that people who are joining new can download this app. It's a Vaishnav calendar. So the point I'm saying here is that Ekadashi has to be broken on a specific time on Dwadashi. You cannot open the fast just at any time. So the time when Ekadashi fast is broken, the next day is Dwadashi, and the time is called Parana time. Okay, so it is called Parana time. So now our fast has to be broken on this time particularly. Now this time actually varies from place to place. Why? Because the time of Ekadashi is calculated according to the sunrise. And sun is rising at different places at different time. So obviously the fast breaking time also will vary depending on the city you're living or the country you're living. Suppose I am living in Chennai and somebody is living in Bombay, so their fast opening time will be different. Okay, so that is something very important. That is why we are requesting everybody to download this app. And when you download this app, you have to enter the name of your city. And once you enter the name of your city, you will get all the information of your city. What time will the fast be broken? And in that time, only the fast has to be broken. Now, how do you break the fast? Okay, so if you are not on water also, if you're doing Nirjal Ekadashi, then you can break the fast with water. So next level. If you're doing a water fast, then you can break the fast with fruit juice. If you are on a juices fast, then you can break the fast with fruits. Okay, and if
Sorry,
you are keeping,
Mataji.
sorry,
Mataji, can we repeat the second one?
yeah, if you are keeping a water fast, then you can break it with juices. And if you are keeping a fast of juices, then you break it with fruits. And if you are observing a fruits fast, then you break it with something like a sabudana or fasting khichdi or something like that. And if you are observing the solids fast, like you have taken sabudana or you've taken some kind of fasting rice, then you break the fast with grains. So you can eat any kind of grain when you're opening the fast. Is that clear? But remember that the fast has to be opened only
Mataji,
during
what was the
Paran.
fifth one?
The last one is if you're taking like sabudana or if you have taken moria rice, etc., then you break it with grains.
What can we eat, Mataji?
Grains, as in you can eat anything, you can eat some rice or you can actually just one particle of grain is sufficient. You don't have to eat entire breakfast. Suppose it's fast breaking time is say from morning 6 to 6:30 and your breakfast is not prepared, right? So you can just take a small piece of biscuit, not even an entire biscuit, just took a small grain of biscuit. If you have nothing in your house, just take a small grain of even uncooked rice also. Even that is also fine. Even things are not cooked, you can take an uncooked piece of rice also and you can just put it in your mouth and your fast breaks. Okay, so let's move on. Now this fast breaking time, the next day of Ekadashi is Dwadashi. Okay, now there are certain things which you are supposed to do and so we need to remember. So here is a list of things which I'm going to share. So first thing, as I just said, the important thing to remember on Dwadashi that we must break the fast only during the Paran time, only during the time which is prescribed in our app. It is according to your city. You must break the fast in that time. Okay. Next thing is we do not pluck Tutsi on Dwadashi. Because it is said that even Tulsi also has observed fasting and so she is very tired and she's become very weak due to fasting. So we do not pluck Tulsi leaves on Dwadashi day. So when you have to offer anything to the Lord, so make sure that on Ekadashi itself, you have sufficient amount of tulsi leaves with you so that you can use it on Ekadashi and you can use them also on Dwadashi. So both the days you should have sufficient amount of tulsi. So do not pluck tulsi on Dwadashi day. Okay, so these are the important things to remember. Let's move on. So now every Ekadashi you would have heard has a different story. It has a different purpose. Its importance is different. Its glory is different. So we cannot compare one Ekadashi to other Ekadashi. However, if by mistake you have broken the Ekadashi, you have eaten something, then what is the alternative? Although you should try, you don't think that, okay, I observed this Ekadashi, so I will compensate in the other Ekadashi. So that doesn't happen because each Ekadashi is independent. Each Ekadashi has its own importance, its own glory. But unfortunately, if you have, happen to break Ekadashi, to eaten something, or due to certain reason, because of your health problem or whatever reason you have broken the Ekadashi fast, then the scriptures tell us some alternatives to it. So the alternative is that there is one Ekadashi called Bhim Ekadashi, which I am not sure which month it comes in. So it comes, it's a very tough Ekadashi. And so that Ekadashi you should observe without even consuming water. Okay, so you can do like that. In case you miss any Ekadashi, then
Mataji, how would we know, Mataji, sorry, how would we know Bhima Ekadashi when?
Bhima Ekadashi, actually, when you download the app, when you download the app and you go through each month, you'll get a list, you'll get to see all Ekadashis in each month. January 2 Ekadashi, February 2 Ekadashi, March 2 Ekadashi. So you will get to know in that calendar when is the Bhima Ekadashi coming. So I don't know why. I still suggest all of you please download that app. I've been repeatedly asking everybody to download that app because you get lots and lots of information in that app. Okay, so let's move on. We'll come to those questions later on. There'll be a lot of questions. Probably not today. Sometime during the week, we'll have a question answer session. So the other alternative is you observe Ekadashi on Trayodasi. So 11th day is fasting, 12th day is Dwadashi, and 13th day. So in case you have missed Ekadashi or you've broken Ekadashi, then you observe the fast on Trayodasi. But please do not make it a habit that since Ekadashi, my friend's wedding was there and I had a party and, there was nice food my mother or my wife had cooked. So let me observe fast on Trayodasi. That is wrong. That is not to be done. We are talking about accidentally if you have broken the fast, so you can observe it on Trayodasi or Bhima Ekadashi. Do not make it a practice that there is some nice feast and you have to go to a wedding. So, okay, I'll go to a wedding and let me eat nicely on the wedding and I will observe the Trayodasi fast. So please do not do that because Krishna is not stupid fool. Krishna is a very clever person. He knows what is there in your heart. Okay, he's sitting inside everybody's heart and he knows your real purpose. So don't do that. Okay, so be honest to yourself. We are talking what scriptures tell us. What are the alternatives in case we happen to accidentally break the fast? So even if by mistake you have broken the fast is broken. You cannot say, sorry, Lord, I'll be careful next time. Okay, you will be careful, but you do not get the benefit of that fast. Okay. So let's move on. So here are a couple of things that which tells us that, what is actually the beauty of Ekadashi. So Ekadashi is called the mother of devotion, and it is most favorable for increasing our spiritual practices. So we should not concentrate on what I have to eat, what I don't have to eat. Our focus should be more on pleasing the Supreme Lord, pleasing Krishna. That should be our focus. We should reduce our body requirements and we should increase our bhakti. We should increase chanting. We should read if we can. If we can read books, we should try to read some books about Krishna, read Bhagavad Gita. So this day is very dear to Lord Krishna, and we should try to please Krishna. And how does Krishna gets pleased? Of course, by fasting. Then he likes it if you are chanting. So if you're chanting 2 rounds, try to chant 3 rounds. If you're chanting 4 rounds, you try to chant 5 rounds. So try to do something more on Ekadashi. Try to serve the Lord, try to cook nice prasadam for the Lord. In fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself said that one must observe Ekadashi. In fact, he even told his own mother, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was Krishna himself. And he in fact told his own mother that never miss an Ekadashi. You should always observe Ekadashi. So here is a long list of items which we should not consume. We should try to avoid during Ekadashi. So we will be sharing the PPT, and as you can see, we are live on YouTube. So you can just click this button and watch this session again. So I'm going to read all those items for the benefit of those who cannot read, who can understand only sign language. Others who can read can see this PowerPoint presentation and can understand what to eat and what not to eat. Okay, so I'll quickly share the screen. We don't have much time, 10 minutes left for the class. So let's go. Let's start the list. So these are the items which you are not supposed to consume, which you're not supposed to eat. Okay. So obviously no non-vegetarian food. If there are people who are eating non-vegetarian, no non-veg, no fish, no onion, no garlic, no pulses. So all the pulses. Okay. No rice, no wheat, maida, suji, no corn, 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 no bajra, no jowar, Now, in ISKCON, we are eating almost all the vegetables. So on Ekadashi, you can prepare nice vegetables, but exception with few of them. Like we cannot eat beans, peas, and what do you call lady's finger. So these three vegetables we do not eat on Ekadashi. The rest of the other vegetables, everything can be eaten. Sudarshan Prabhu, we can answer the questions later on because we do not have much time. No time, no questions today. Otherwise, we'll miss on the entire session. Please, I request everybody not to ask any questions just now. Saurabh Prabhu, can I continue the list?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. So all vegetables can be eaten except these three that I have told. No beans, no peas, no lady's finger. Then we should try to avoid. I'm not saying must because many people are used to having tea and coffee. You can try to avoid tea and coffee. You can try to have more buttermilk and coconut water. So you should try to avoid. If you cannot survive without tea, coffee, you can have. But generally in ISKCON we do not take tea, and coffee is also kind of an intoxication, like how we have liquor. Similarly, we consider tea and coffee also. Then we should avoid ice cream. We should try to avoid turmeric powder because turmeric is grounded in machines where sometimes they grind wheat also. So that is why we are not sure of turmeric. So we try to avoid turmeric. Then no hing or asafoetida. I'll just type. And in oils, we don't take mustard oil, soya bean oil, til oil or sesame oil. So the only, so this is a long list. I'm sure people are going to have questions regarding what to eat, what not to eat. We'll discuss it again also. Then we do not take mustard seeds, methi seeds, and sesame seeds. If you want, you can use jeera. Okay, so now let's move on to the list which we can eat. So here, don't get disheartened. We have a long list of things that we can eat. So don't think that Ekadashi you will, die without food. So there's a long list of food that we can actually eat and prepare. So all kind of milk products, of course, no ice cream, fruits, curd, cheese. For cheese, also try to look for vegetarian brand because outside India, cheese is sometimes mixed with some animal fat. So in India, that is not so much of a problem, but out of India, sometimes you do get animal fat mixed in cheese. So cheese we can have, and all vegetables. As I said, no beans and peas and lady's finger. We can have makhana, which is called lotus seeds. We can have peanuts, sugar, jaggery we can have. Then we can have sabudana. We can have kuttu. Kuttu is also known as buckwheat. So different states will have a different name for these things actually. Then we have Singhara, which is also known as water chestnut. We have Rajgir and Amaranth.
I'm sorry, Mataji, what was this?
Rajgir, it's called Amaranth.
It's a kind of what? Atta?
It's an atta, and it also comes in the grain form. Like in North, we get this chalai ka laddu, no?
These photos would be very easy. How do I explain Chaurahe ka laddu?
Okay. I'll do one thing, sorry, Prabhu. I can send a separate video, or I'll see if I can send different actions for these or photographs in our WhatsApp group. I think people would be needing more help in terms of these things. So I'll work on it and send it across. Then we can have, in oils, we can have coconut oil, we can have ghee, we can have peanut oil, we can have pepper and jeera, and try to use rock salt. So there is a long list of things that we can actually eat. So what I'll do is I'll try to see certain things are very simple, like curd and milk and oils and ghees are very simple. But when it comes to like solid food like quinoa or amaranth and things like that, I'll try to share their pictures on WhatsApp. Okay, so that is the big list of foods of eating and not to eat. So our scriptures tell us that one who observes fasting on Ekadashi is free from all kind of reactions, all kind of sinful activities, those which have been performed in previous lives, and they advance in pious life, they advance in their spiritual life. And so, my dear friends, the real meaning of Ekadashi is not just fasting. We must do more of chanting, and we should try to do some service to Krishna by cooking prasadam. Ekadashi means only these two things: fasting and chanting and remembering Krishna. We should try to postpone other activities to some other day. But Ekadashi, apart from fasting, should be dedicated only for pleasing the Lord. Because the basic principle is not just to fast, but to increase one's faith and love for Govinda, for Krishna. So here we have come to the end of our today's session. So since we have this session has gone live on YouTube, so you can pick up the session again and watch it. And the PPT shall be shared very soon on the WhatsApp groups. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions, but since it's already 10:01, it's already 1 minutes past 10. I would like to finish this session here. We will try to arrange a session within this week, before the next Friday, I will try to see if we can work out a day where we can answer the questions, answer to all these questions that you must be having regarding Ekadashi. And also I will try to bring some food items and take pictures and send it across to you, that what can be eaten on Ekadashi. Okay, so we will try to communicate all those things to you so that all of you can, start observing Ekadashi. So please, humble request to download the app which we have been sending every week. So every time before Ekadashi, please download Vaishnav calendar, because there only you can get the information about when to break the Ekadashi fast, and you will get also the story about Ekadashi. And also the last thing I want to clarify, that there is no difference between food when it comes to eating on different Ekadashi. Food remains same for all Ekadashi. Things which have to be eaten and things which have not to be eaten remains same for all Ekadashis. Okay, so 2 Ekadashi comes every month. So all these Ekadashis in the entire year, there is no change in food. So whatever is no means no for all Ekadashis. Whatever is yes for all Ekadashis. So there should not be any doubt that what should I eat on this particular Ekadashi. So don't worry about it. Whatever is authorized, whatever is permitted by our scriptures, you can eat everything on all the Ekadashis. Okay, so there should not be any doubt when it comes to different Ekadashis. Only the difference is in story. Otherwise, everything remains same. We have to chant more, we have to read more, we have to try to please Krishna more. That should be the basic principle of observing Ekadashi. Okay, so if there is something really urgent, you can please ask Kavita. Kavita, kindly share your mobile number if there is really urgent. Otherwise, kindly wait. We will be announcing one question answer session for Ekadashi. And because every time we get late to finish this session, kindly watch this session again on YouTube. And of course, we will send the PPT across. So I hope the session was useful. And can you all promise to start observing Ekadashi? Still, people are very doubtful. Okay, take your time, but please, I have told you that it's sinful to eat grains on Ekadashi. So can we sign off? With your kind permission, can we wind up today's session? And let's chant the Maha Mantra once. So somebody is asking in the group that can we fast one time or 2 times we can eat? You can eat all the 3 times. You can eat all the 3 times. You can eat entire day. Only thing is, don't eat grains. Even children can observe Ekadashi because you can cook nice things with all this list, and you can, it can be a feast. It can be a party on Ekadashi actually. Okay, so you can eat all the meals. You can eat all the 3 times. You can have snacks also, but no grains. So let's chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.